Hello, third graders. It's time to complete the unit number 6 review. You guys totally got this. Totally. There are a lot of things here that I think we're going to be really comfortable with because we've been studying and learning hard. And I'm very excited for you to show everything that you know how to do. Here is problem number 1. Remember, you're going to be doing all of these problems, or almost all of them. I might model a couple, but this is review. So really, this is for you to see the things that you need to know and that you need to practice. So make sure you've got a piece of paper, notebook right next to you. Dry erase board is fine too. Use doubling to solve 4 times 7. Draw a picture and explain what you did. Include a number model in your explanation. Okay, so when we're gonna what we're talking about here with doubling is to take something to kind of break this in half, right? So if we have 4 times 7, we could draw a rectangle of that, couldn't we? Let's see. Let's do it like this. So we could put our 4 here. Well, hang on. That's not going to work. We'll have to put our oh, I got to redo my drawing. Boop-a-doop. All right. So 4 and 7. So if we take this 4 and kind of chop it in half, well, each one of these is going to be 2 then. Right? And so 2 times 7, right? What's 2 times 7? It is 14. Well, then this is also 14. So if you put these together, then you know that 7 times 4 equals what? It equals 28. Okay? To explain that, right? Because we're always asked to explain our work, and that is, and include a number model in our explanation. So that is our math problem. So when we're asked to explain, we need to use those sequence words. First, I split the 4 into 2 groups of 2, right? Sequence words. Then I multiplied 2 times 7 equals 14. That told me that, here's our number model, right, of the main one. 4 times 7 equals 28, right? You have to make sure you include that number model in your explanation, right? That's going to be the kind of like your proof. When we're working in reading and we're talking about evidence, this is really your evidence here in math, right? These number problems, and your explanation is the words that you're using there. All right, we're going to do some solving of these problems. Here we have 426 minus 328. Whenever you see something really little like that, write it bigger. 426 minus 328. So you see, look, 426 minus 328. So much more room to work with. All right, we are starting at the ones place here. 6 minus 8, what do you think? Not 2. Okay? Not 2. Borrow. We have to borrow here. We have to borrow from the tens place, right? We're giving a group over here to the ones place. Now we can do 16 minus 8, right? We always say big bottom borrow. The number on bottom was bigger, but now it's not. What's 16 minus 8? 8. All right. What about the tens place? What do you think? Not 1. If you said 1, then really got to listen, right? Because we just said that if the number on bottom is bigger, then we have to borrow. How do I borrow here? How do I do that? I am going to cross out this group of 100, right? This is like taking away 100, which is 10 tens, and giving that right over there. And 11 minus 2 equals 9. And then 3 minus 3 is nothing. You can write a 0 here, but you don't have to. So our answer is 98. All right, you guys get to do this one. Now, that's written sideways. When you write it, make sure you stack those numbers on top of each other. The bigger one, this 500, should be on the top. All right, take some time and subtract that, and then let me know what you get. All right, let's see here with 541 minus 279. You had to stack these up like this. Whenever people try to subtract sideways, I will tell you more than half of the time you will get it wrong because it's harder to see what to when to borrow and when not to borrow. Okay, so make sure you are always stacking these numbers. Then you should have, if you did this, then you realized, okay, I can't do this. So I have to borrow because the big number is on the bottom there. Now I have 11 minus 9 equals 2. You know, if you had an 8 in the ones place, then that means you tried to do 9 minus 1, but it doesn't say that. It says 1 minus 9. 3 minus 7, another big bottom. Big bottom borrow. A lot of borrowing on these two problems. You don't borrow on everything, but if you see that bigger number on the bottom, then you certainly have to borrow. Okay, if you got 262, great. If not, look and listen. You can go back and rewatch part of this too to see where your error was. That's what part of what this review is for us to see what we might need to work on a little bit more before the upcoming Unit 6 math test. All right. Number 3, which facts below would give you a higher product? What's the word product mean? Product is the answer in a multiplication problem. The word sum, right? S-U-M is the difference, the answer to an addition problem. Difference is the answer to subtraction. Product for multiplication. And the word quotient. Quotient is the answer in a division problem. So we want to know which is more. I'll do one. You'll do the other two. 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 6 is 30. So this is the answer. 5 times 6. How about B? Which of those is more? 9 times 6 is 54. 7 times 7 is 49. This one is bigger. And C, which is bigger? 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 6 is 18. Oh, they were close. That is the bigger one. In order to answer these, we had to figure out the answer to both, right? You can't just pick. You can't just look at the numbers and say, oh, I think that it might be this one. Okay, we had to look to make sure. We had to figure out the answers to each problem, then decide which one is more. All right. Show a multiplication strategy that can be used to solve this fact. All right, if you had 6 times 8, what would you do? All right, I'm sure we got a variety of ideas. I bet a lot of people said helper facts because with these 6s, helper facts can be very, very useful, right? Because we know 5 times 8 equals 40. So one more group of 8, not 6, another group of 8 is going to give us 48. You could have also taken the 6 and made it 3 times 8 and 3 times 8. If you knew 3 times 8, that might help. 3 times 8 and 3 times 8. These would go together to equal that. You would also get 48. I would not say that drawing an array is a very efficient strategy. That's going to take too long. I would not counting by 8s if you're fast. If you can go 8, 16, 24, 32, then and on up to 48, that might work. Number 5. Here we go. You have 36 marbles and want to divide them equally among 4 small bags. How many marbles do you put into each bag? Write a number model to fit the story. Use a letter to represent what you want to find out. Let's do that. Well, what do we want to find out? What do we want to find out? We want to find out how many marbles go in each bag, right? Now, if you like these diagrams here, you can use them, right? I would put, let's see, I'll type it here. The bags, well, that didn't go in the right spot. Let's move it up. That's too small. We'll get this one of these days. The bags would go here, and then marbles per bag. And then that would tell us the total number of marbles. Then you can fill in these things. What I know a lot of students, and what I like to do too, because it makes more sense to me, is to make your own diagram, your own picture, right? So you've got a bag. We have, how many bags did we have? I already forgot. 4 bags. And we're going to put 36 marbles. I don't want to draw out 36 marbles. So I'm going to be putting these into these bags and doing so equally. This is a dividing problem, isn't it? So this is a diagram too, okay? That's a diagram that's fine. This is a diagram that's fine. If you use this one, you would say that we have 4 bags. We don't know how many marbles. So we're going to choose a letter. And like I said before, or like you told me, we need to try to figure out how many marbles are in each bag. We'll make the letter M stand for marbles. Now, does it matter what letter you pick? No. But I usually like to pick a letter that is the first letter of what I'm looking for. Okay? Unless it's an L, because an L looks like a 1. So I will pick M here. So what's our number model here? You could write it as division or as multiplication. What's our number model? All right, here's what I would write. I would write 36 divided by 4 equals M. Some folks might have done 4 times M equals 36. Those are both right. Okay, those both fit. What's the answer? 9. 9. 9 what? 9 marbles. Don't just say 9. And our number model with our answer. Now we're going to put our answer in here. So if we're putting in a variable, an unknown, we have to put this M here. But when we want to put the answer, we can put the number. See how that works? All right. Now, let's see. Before we read this, what do you remember about parentheses in math? Whatever is in the parentheses, you have to do that first. So Jill and Jack, hey, Jack, and they're done going up a hill and falling down and fetching a pail of water. They are now solving this number sentence. 5 times parentheses, or open parentheses, 3 plus 3, and then a close parentheses, equals question mark. They didn't use a variable. I would put a letter there. Jill says the answer is 30, and Jack says 18. Who is correct? All right. Take a moment and work that out, and tell me who you think is correct. All right, Jill is correct. Why is Jack wrong? Okay, Jack is wrong. I know he got the wrong answer. We want to go farther than that, right? Jill is correct because she did the parentheses first. Jack did not, right? Look at this. Jack did 15 times, or I said 15. That's in my head here. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 8 or plus 3 equals 18. That's what he did, but he did it wrong, didn't he? Our parentheses are around 3 plus 3. So we have to do that first. 5 times 3 equals 6. Explain. I already had you explain, so I'm going to type it in here for us. Who is correct? Now, watch this. This is, if you type this way, this is wrong. Jill because. Jill because, no, is that her last name? No. The word because doesn't go as your first or second word in a sentence. Jill is correct because. Oh, that's better. Not Jill because. That's her last name is because. I've never seen anybody with the last name of because. Jill is correct because she remembered to complete the problem in the parentheses. Yay. First, Jack did not do this. Bad boy. All right, you don't have to add bad boy. So that's why, right? We have to explain. We have to give our reasons and our evidence, right? When we've talked about that in reading too, right? When you're proving a claim, our claim is that Jill is correct. You have to prove that with some evidence. Number 7, my dear Aunt Sally. Oh, I know my dear Aunt Sally. Remember my dear Aunt Sally? You saw her in the video. Use the order of operations to solve this number sentence. Explain Aunt Sally's steps for solving the number sentence. Well, let's make sure we remember what my Aunt Sally says. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, some people will put this together and say PEMDAS. See all these letters, if they're put in order, they spell PEMDAS. I prefer please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is our parentheses. E is for exponents. You are not going to see exponents in 3rd grade, but exponents are when you get a little number up here. I tried to draw a 4. Let's see if I can cross it here. And this is an exponent, but like I said, you won't see those in 3rd grade. You won't see them in 4th grade really either. But if you want to look them up, you are welcome to do so. Multiplying and dividing happen at the same time. This does not mean that multiplying is always before dividing. These are equal. Whichever one is on the left is the one you do first. And same with addition or subtraction. So you can see that all multiplying and dividing is before all adding and subtracting. So what did, and Sally did a good job here. She got it right. What was her first step? Her first step was multiplying 9 times 2, right? She did that because multiplying happens before adding. So explain Aunt Sally's steps. More sequence here. First, Aunt Sally multiplied 9 times 2 equals 18. Then what did she do next? Then she added 18 plus 3 and got the answer of 21. Good job, Aunt Sally. I'll see you at our family reunion. All right, you don't need all that, right? But good job, Aunt Sally. She remembered that multiplying and dividing, all multiplying and dividing happens before any adding or subtracting. All right, did we make it to the end? Almost. That's our last one, I believe, and it's more about using these parentheses. Here we have Mr. Dillon's classroom. It has 4 tables with 5 children at each table and a table of 4 kids. How many children are in Mr. Dillon's class? Well, look at the number model. First, we're going to take these 4 tables times the 5 kids. That tells us how many kids are at these tables. And then we need to add in these extras here. All right, so take a moment and solve that and tell me what you got. Did you get 24? You should have. If you do 4 times 5, 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 4 more equals 24. Okay, and if we are then asked to explain how the number model fits the story, that's a good one, right? First, we had to do the part, I just kind of talked about it, so we're not going to do it again. First, we had to do the parts with the 4 tables with 5 children. We had to do that first, and then we had to add the 4 extras. All right, third graders. Long video. They're always long here during the unit review because we have a lot to talk about. There is no math journal page, so this kind of takes the place of both of those because you've been doing so many problems here with me. The test is coming up soon. If there's something here that you're really confused about, you've got a couple different things you can do. You can, with your parents' help, go searching for some videos that might help you. There's all sorts of great math videos. You could ask your parents. They've been in 3rd grade before. They might be able to help you with some of these things. Or you can reach out to me, right, to Mr. White or to your teacher if you're not in my class, and ask them some questions. Teachers love to help with student questions. All right. Good luck on your test coming up soon. Bye, 3rd graders.